Hi guys, just a quick reminder, only 6.6% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if you're in the 90.5% of people who aren't subbed, maybe you should click the subscribe button if you do enjoy this video. Now let's get into it. So during Christmas, there was a Christmas sale on Steam, and one of the games I bought was Yakuza 0. I bought this for many reasons. One reason is because the Dame Dene God said that I have to buy it or I'm going to hell, and there's some other reasons like I just thought it was a pretty good game from how it looked. And it really is. Like, no wonder the reviews are this good. I don't know where to start with Yakuza. There's so much you can do. Whether it's the main story, the sub-stories, the fun stuff you can do like going to karaoke bars or doing bowling. There is so much you can do in this game, and I love how immersive it is. Another thing I love about Yakuza is how serious yet fun it is. There's a quest you can do with bowling, and if you win, you then get a turkey. There's also another quest where you give a child basically a Playboy magazine, and what I love about it is his name goes from being innocent lad to then when you give him the magazine to sophisticated boy. Like, that's great. And then there's other quests where you basically scare away a bunch of kids in a park by training a dominatrix and other stuff. I just love how, while it tries to be serious and is a serious game, there's a fun side to it as well. And I think that the way the people who made Yakuza did it, they executed it really well. The only real criticism for Yakuza I could think of is actually, while there's such an immersive and big world of Yakuza, in my opinion it could still be bigger and had quite a bit of potential it missed out. But overall, it's still an epic game. Some of my favourite things you can do in Yakuza are things like the arcade, where just like in real life it's pretty hard and probably rigged, but it's still not that hard. Like, I have nearly every arcade toy you can get, and I think that if I would continue trying, and I wouldn't have just said, some of them look bad, so I'm not going to get them, then I probably could have got every type of toy you can get in the arcade in Yakuza. Another thing I like is bowling, because it's not that hard, but it still is hard. So when I started off, I was very bad, but just like the karaoke, the more you do it, the better you get at it, and I like how I've been able to progress at it as well. Another thing I like is, sometimes, just for fun, drinking in Yakuza, because there's actually, you can get drunk in Yakuza. And then that means that when you walk around, you're more likely to get into fights with people. And sometimes for fun, I just go to like a drinking place, get a bit drunk in Yakuza, and then go fight some people. Obviously, fighting is a part of Yakuza, not my favourite, but it is still pretty fun. I like how you can do lots of pretty cool moves. And another thing, which is pretty funky, I haven't looked a lot into it, is this telephone place, which I've been to a few times, and you can call women and talk to them, and basically then go on a date with them. All of the people I've talked to and then met, all of them were catfishes, which is pretty funny and probably realistic as well. But according to the internet, there are some not catfish women you can find on there as well, so I think that will be pretty interesting. And finally, karaoke. I think that this is probably my favourite one, and I've been grinding back a Mitai, getting 95 score, and I just really enjoy it. I like music as well, so that's probably a reason why. And that's about all of my favourite things to do in Yakuza which aren't the main story or the side quests. You start off as a character by the name of Kiryu, who lives in Kamurocho in Tokyo. He is a pretty chill dude who's part of the Dojima family in the Tojo clan, and he's a Yakuza. He's like, well, gangster stuff, yeah? And in the beginning, you start off seeing him beat up this dude, and he's like, haha, you should have given us your money, scrub. And then, Later, he finds out that this dude was found dead. Who was the last person to see him, though? Oh, wait, it was Kiryu. That means that Kiryu killed the guy. Uh-oh. So Kiryu's then like, oh, no, 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 no. I cannot get in, like, trouble with the Yakuza for killing a guy. Because Yakuza don't like it when I kill people. So then he went up to, like, some of the Yakuza people and was like, let me leave. And then they were like, no. And then they were like, let me leave. And then it ended up with one of the leaders of the Yakuza family having his finger be cut off. Don't ask why, but that's what happens. Just saying, if you watched this video and you didn't know that there were spoilers, I feel really sorry for you, because I'm now going to spoil quite a bit of it to you. So, after Kiryu leaves the Yakuza, you then start playing as a man by the name of Majima. He has an eye patch, which I'll explain pretty soon, and he is an ex-Yakuza as well. He runs a club in Sotenbori, also in Japan, and he wants to join back the Yakuza. So he talks to a guy he knows and says, hey, can I join back? And he's like, yeah, you can join back. All you need to do is kill this person. Also, the reason why he has the eye patch is because he was tortured by the Yakuza before he was then kicked out, and they stabbed him in the eye, and that's why he doesn't have one of his eyes. But basically, he then goes to the person he has to kill, and is like, I'm going to kill you. But then finds out that the person he's trying to kill is a blind woman. Now, if you had no soul and really wanted to be back in the Yakuza, you could be like, damn, this is easy, let's go. But he was like, oh, no, 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 no. So then, he ended up fighting the people who know this woman, and then actually helped save the woman from being caught by other people, because for some reason everyone wants to get hold of her. She's blind because of trauma, and the person who traumatized her had a bat tattoo. In Kamurocho, where Kiryu lives, the place where he supposedly killed the person but was actually set up by an unknown figure, the place where Kiryu killed the person is a place called the Empty Lot. It's just a tiny area in Kamurocho. There's two people fighting for Kamurocho who want it. Tachibana and the Tojo clan. Both of them are pretty close to owning all power of Kamurocho, but the Empty Lot is basically the only undecided place. So they both want power over it by finding out the guy who runs it. Because Kiryu can't join back the Yakuza, he then joins Tachibana, who is a real estate man. And together they try to take Kamurocho. So one thing I love about Yakuza, even though they don't happen often, is plot twists. Basically, do you remember how in Sotenbori there is a blind woman who was supposed to be killed by Majima? She has been traumatized by a person with a bat tattoo. Now, Tachibana, the owner of the real estate company Kiryu now works for, is he falls unconscious, and I think that this is probably because of a lot of stress, because he then talks with the leader of the Tojo clan to say, hey, can you leave Kiryu alone, he's a pretty nice guy, and blah blah blah, here's some money. And I think he got very stressed from that, which then caused him to collapse, and they talk about him being stressed as well. And then you see him in hospital, lying in bed shirtless, and then as the camera pans around, you see on his left arm there is a bat tattoo. That was pretty shocking for me, because for you, I'm just explaining it right now, so if you've never played the game, you won't think of it as that big of a, you know, oh wow, what, this person is actually probably the other person, oh wow, blah blah blah. But it's actually a really interesting plot twist in my opinion, because in a way, Majima and Kiryu, when you play as these characters, it's as if they're in a different universe. They're completely different, they're in different places, and their stories don't align at all, except for that they're both ex-Yakuza. That's the only thing which keeps them together, which makes them similar. But now, you're seeing how it's all coming together, because now actually Kiryu is travelling to Sotenbori with Tachibana. And just before we found out that, oh, isn't that interesting, Tachibana has the bat tattoo. And Majima has been acquainted with the girl who's blind and the person who looks after her. And it feels like it's all coming together. And I really like how the people who made Yakuza 0 really took time to think about the story. And it's not very cliche. I think it's really interesting. And if I get the money, I think I'll probably buy the other games just because of how good the story of these games are. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. I hope you did. If you didn't, tell me in the comments, and if you did, tell me in the comments as well. And bye.